Okay, and hello, and welcome to episode 5 of Minecraft Builder. Or at least I'm pretty sure this is episode 5. Can't quite remember though. But anyways, uh, as you can see, I am an MC edit, but you do not need to be into it, or be in it. Uh, I'm just in it so I can show you this floor easier. Now, basically, what you're seeing is this is the house I was working on during the past episode, and I didn't actually add the second floor yet. I wanted to do this so I could show you a good example of a little bit more original floor, not just solid cobblestone or solid dirt or solid wood or whatever you're wanting to use. Something a little bit more fancy. Now, what you may notice is the way this wall runs up is it runs up and then the floor basically comes off of it, and you can create a nice interesting pattern pretty easily. Now, this solid double brick or double sandstone brick thing right here might be a little much, so if I wanted to change that, one thing I could do is take this one and put it there, like take this one and flip them around, this one and flip it around, and these two flip them around, and these two flip them around. Now I could do that and make it a little bit more interesting, but I decided not to, just because I think it will add some offset and grayness to the room, and it looks pretty cool, I think, in this pattern anyways. So that's the main thing I wanted, or not the main thing I wanted to show you, because this episode is going to be about roofs. And now, you may ask, what is important about roofs? Well, roof is like a king's crown. Without the crown, the king looks plain and boring. With the crown, he looks more royal, and you can tell he's obviously important. Well, now, this building, it's kind of a plain roof. It goes up in a slope a little bit, not really anything too interesting. But the type of roof you want to do depends a lot on the buildings. Or not the building, but what kind of building the building is. Like this would be like a house. So it's pretty simple. Houses aren't going to be anything too fancy. Now this on the other end is going to be the town hall. I started working on it, just kind of got bored of it, because I have to mine out a bunch of rock right here, because it's kind of built into the wall itself, and then there's going to be like a little cave that goes through to the other side. But this roof would be a bit fancier, more of like a city hall roof, so that, because it's obviously going to be a more important building, and this will probably be another house, so it might not be super important. Now I'm going to pause it and jump into my test world and plop in a few different buildings that I've pre-made, and show you some different roof patterns for different kind of roofs and give you some ideas. Okay, well, I was getting ready to plop in some examples of roofs, but there's one tool I wanted to show you in MC Edit. You can use it or you can not use it, but it is pretty helpful. But it's basically to import buildings and schematics is what they're in. They're in a .schematic file, and basically you just click this thing, click import, go into, it'll bring up this folder. Now I got a lot more than you're gonna have, and this super awesome schematic pack is going to be my schematic pack I will have. It is not done yet, and it's probably going to be a bit, but when I get it done, I will make a video and show off some of the buildings. And I've got to say, I'm pretty hyped for it. It's got some really awesome stuff in it, and it's all organized. And I'm going to go into my city or castle walls, because there's some pretty good roofs. Now, these are the tops of the wall tower. I got two different kind of tops. You'd like place the wall tower down, like so. And there's doesn't really have anything to pertain to building. I'm just kind of trying to give you some examples. Now, you notice that it did that, and I don't want it to do that actually, so I'm going to undo that. Go to import again, go back to it, Now I use this to move it down one. I'm gonna go with uncopy air and uncopy water. We're not copying air or water. There is no water in this, so it doesn't even really matter though. But now you notice that the floor is aligned with that. But you won't be able to access these until later on. Now, I'm going to import a few buildings and the toppers to these so then you can see different kind of roofs. Now this is, well actually I'll go into some more detail of what this is and some more different roof types when I get back from importing these. Okay, I am back and I have a few things imported. Now what this is though is this would be the tower that's on a city wall or a fort wall or a castle wall, but there would be walls coming off of here or on the other side or on that side. And then one of these two things, this one or this one, would be plopped on top of there, so this wouldn't be flat. And most castle towers are going to be not, I wouldn't say uninteresting roofs, but I wouldn't say they're interesting roofs. They're kind of in between. Now, most of the time, towers were going to be circle. And if it's going to be like a type of guard tower, it's probably you're going to want to make the building circle-ish, as circle as you can get in Minecraft. For example, this is about as circle as you can get in Minecraft, unless you want to make these walls less flat in a perfect circle, or at least a Minecraft circle. But basically, all this is a simple ascending stair step kind of pattern. It's really not anything too special, but it gives it a nice effect. And then this is a little bit more creative, I should say. It's my personal favorite, honestly. And it does a basic stair step with a little twist. Like this is kind of like this. These two top layers are basically these two top layers, except for this one is like flipped over. I don't know if you can really tell. And then this is a little bit more unique. You can't really tell if you're like looking up, but if you're over it, you can tell, and it looks pretty cool. Now that's basically the kind of like for guard towers and stuff. Now this is actually a barracks, and as you can tell, it's a little bit more cool because it would be like city owned, so it's going to be a little bit more rich-ish because it is the city and they want to make their city look awesome. So basically, this would be like the guard's barracks. Now, I wanted to do originally a guard tower on top of this because it is barracks, but I decided not to. And if you go in here and check this out, it actually has a staircase going up into here with a few beds, and it's like a little sleeping quarters. Now, that's just an example of how you can make a roof fancy and compact little rooms into small spaces. Now, this is the large keep for the castle, in the castle thing, and as you can tell, it is quite a fancy roof. Now, I could have made this fancier, but I didn't want to spend about 20 years trying to build this roof. It took long enough as it is, considering this is a pretty big building, or actually this is just a room, not even a building. It's basically just the keep, and as you can tell, it is kind of plain, and I would have liked to make it a little bit more fancy, but I ran into the problem after I had gotten these pillars built, which I really wanted the pillars in, because they really set this thing off, which I just noticed a problem in here. I didn't put this block in and that one block in, and as you can tell, they were there on this one. Now, I could fix that really easily in MC Edit, but I'm not too worried about it right now. Now, here's a good little thing for saving space on or not really saving space, but saving space slash decoration slash lighting. This is actually, if you can't tell, a chandelier. And this right here in the game, it's not in like block form, it's the dungeon iron bars, and it looks like it's basically a chain. It looks pretty sweet, if I must say so myself. And this Thrones were very hard to make in this, honestly. I could not decide. It took me about 20 different tries before I finally decided on a design. I don't really know why I'm talking about thrones right now, because that has nothing to pertain to the roofs. But if you're wondering why this is so ugly looking, it's just because you try building a throne that actually looks decent and not the size of China. Um, but yeah, the roof is pretty fancy, and this would be, this is a cactus farm actually, and since it is a farm, the roof is very plain, not much to look at, pretty boring, ununique, walls are all the same, it's a very boring building, but it's a cactus farm, who cares? Cactus isn't even really that important in the first place. But that's a good little idea of roofs and stuff. Now, next tutorial, I am either going to start interior design, or I'm going to show how to make just a farm, as in like a wheat farm or something. Cactus farms you can't really get too creative on, pretty specific on how you have to do them. Now a wheat farm, I'm going to show you how to get fancy, as in not auto harvesting, but as in fancy, as in pretty looking and pretty cool, fun to look at. And actually, let's fly over here to where all the buildings are. And there is a lot of roofing on these buildings. And yes, that is supposed to be a creeper statue. Not my favorite thing, but it is decent. Now, this whole thing is for the castle area, so the roofs are going to be kind of fancy. And this is the king and queen chamber, which would attach onto a hall. Now, one quick thing I would like to point out is if you're going to make a schematic pack, make the buildings compatible for the different sets. Like, what I mean is, all of these is like a basic sidewalk set, and they're small. So what I mean by that is they can all fit together like a puzzle. Same thing with these, and these, and these. These fence sets, all of it fits together well. Now, you may be asking, what the hell is the point of these? They look really gay. They look like incomplete buildings. Now, what they are, though, is actually tops of an outpost. This is actually, would be like the outpost that's way from base. Like, I travel 200 blocks to the east. I don't want to lug a bunch of crap all the way back. I could jump into MC Edit, plop this building down. It's got containers. It's like a base, all compact into a little tiny, I wouldn't say a little tiny building, but a nice little tower. And then you would plop one of these, or one of these onto there. Yeah. Another example of how you want to make your sets for schematics in this, versatile, or I wouldn't say versatile, but I would say compatible with the building you're trying to get them for. Now, that's basically the sum of roofs, and I know I went off track on a lot of things, and this tutorial was probably way longer than what I planned on. But, anyways, that's some basic roof shapes and some advanced roof shapes. And actually, another thing I might go into the next tutorial is how to make a wall, like a city wall, more fancy and not so blah, and make you want to throw up in your mouth because it's so plain and boring. Now, right before I leave you, I want to say that these would be like the towers in the center of the town squares. One of them, either the large one or the small one, and they're pretty fancy too. And that is not supposed to be some retarded treehouse. That is actually, this is the mine shaft, and this is like the mine shack. And I might get into, or I would be showing you that if this was the video for my schematic pack. But anyways, that's basically a video about roofs, and hopefully I don't have to cut this into a two-part tutorial. So basically, that's about roofs, and I know I didn't build any examples, but I might later on. So, thank you for watching, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. I know you hear that a lot, but still, it's appreciated, especially people that put time into their tutorials. So anyways, again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.